What is going on, guys? Dave from Wake Up It's Football, bringing you guys another draft profile. Today it is Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end out of Washington. Just remember, keep in mind a lot of draft stock will shift and change in the following months, and shout out to Draft Breakdown for the highlights in this video. But again, let's get right into this one. Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end out of Washington, 6'6", 266 pounds. He's played in 38 total games at Washington. Some collegiate stats: 146 receptions for 1,840 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 12.6 yards per reception average. A couple of things you might want to know about Seferian-Jenkins. Some career highlights here. First team freshman All-American in 2011. Third team AP All-American in 2012. Second team All-Pac-12 in 2012 and 2013. John Mackey Award finalist in 2012 and John Mackey Award winner in 2013. Some pros and cons to Seferian-Jenkins' game. First of all, his pros, again, his size, 6'6", 266 pounds. This definitely works into him being a red zone threat. Once it gets down to the 20-yard line, it's time to score. Look for Seferian-Jenkins to get some action. You know, it's definitely a guy that teams have to game plan for. Definitely defenders have to watch some tape on how he ends up separating himself from the defense, getting open and scoring touchdowns. Definitely did that at Washington. Definitely could do it at the NFL level. And it's gonna be evident when you watch his tape when he's going up against, you know, corners and safeties who happen to be 5'11", 6 feet tall, and he's got that 6 to 7 inch advantage on them, where the ball has to be accurately thrown, obviously, but once it is and the ball is up in the air, you know, Seferian-Jenkins can just go up and grab it without a problem. Also, his catching and ball skills, I think, are very, very good. From the amount of times I watched, you know, the balls being thrown to him, I didn't notice a very high drop rate. You know, I didn't see him dropping too many balls. I thought he reeled in, you know, most of the passes that were thrown to him. And also his injury history, from what I was able to find out, didn't see too many concerns in that department. Now, cons. First of all, his blocking, as you see there, listed as a pro and as a con. I think Seferian-Jenkins is more of a blocker who's willing to do it, but at the same time needs to be able to improve at blocking, both pass protection and, you know, I guess you can say run protection. First of all, pass protection. He is, you know, many times on the offensive line with the offensive lineman with his hand in the dirt, protecting his quarterback. But I did notice that opposing defensive ends would handle him a little bit, and he wouldn't do a very good job at blocking. There were times where he did, you know, a decent job, but many times he would get beat. Now, when it came to blocking for his running back, I thought he was a little bit more improved in that department. He would be able to, you know, create a lane or create a crease for the running back to run through, and you know, the play would be successful because of the block that Seferian-Jenkins put on the opposing defender. But there were times where, again, he would get beat, so I think blocking as a whole needs to be improved. I think that also goes into him not being aggressive enough, both in blocking and being a pass catcher. There were times where I noticed he would run across the field, he would get thrown off his routes, and he was thrown off his routes very easily. So, you know, he needs to be, I think, more of an aggressive player, and he could work on his blocking to help improve that. Now, DUI in March of 2013. This was a rough spot for Seferian-Jenkins. He was suspended from the team indefinitely, but obviously did manage to play in the 2013 season. He was charged with DUI after he wrecked his car. In March of 2013, he fractured the windshield of the car with his head, but he only suffered minor injuries. And he says he was actually sentenced to 364 days in jail, but he only served 1 day in jail, and 363 of those days were suspended. So Seferian-Jenkins, after he was, you know, asked about that whole incident, you know, obviously he said that it's unlike him to kind of be involved in that kind of behavior. He's very regretful, very sorry for those actions that he had, but definitely going to draw some questions from scouts and from GMs when it comes to his decision making, and you know, why did he do what he did? You know, so that is that. Now, his draft projection, I think he's probably in that second round range, anywhere from 33 to 64. Teams of interest being Oakland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, the Giants, Pittsburgh, the Jets, Arizona, Green Bay, New England, Seattle. I think those are all teams that could target a tight end at some point in the draft. I think when it comes to the top tight ends in this draft class, I think it's pretty much what everyone's been saying they are. It's Eric Ebron, number 1, because he's a vertical threat, could be a big play type of guy. Jason Morrow is definitely one of those players that could be placed at number 2. I think Austin Seferian-Jenkins it would be placed at 3 right now from all the the 3 tight ends that I've watched. I haven't watched more than 3. This is the 3rd tight end I've watched. I think he ranks number 3 out of those 3 guys. But let me know what you guys think. Throw your comments, questions, and concerns down in the comments below. But that was my Austin Seferian-Jenkins draft profile, and that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out.